Craigslist nightmare. The stranger who answered my ad started with something simple, a Craigslist ad. I had an old red leather recliner that had belonged to my grandfather. The kind of thing that was too worn to keep, but too intact to throw away without guilt. So I listed it, free recliner, first come, first served. I posted a photo, added my address in a small, quiet town just west of Waco, and forgot about it for a few hours. It was late September, the air just starting to lose its Texas heat, and the days were growing shorter. I lived alone in a ranch-style house that backed up to a stretch of woods and scrubland that eventually dropped off into the Brazos. The kind of place where the stars still looked like silver dust and the silence at night wrapped around you like a second skin. Around 7:30 that evening, just as the sun was bleeding out along the horizon, someone texted me. No name, just a number. Still have the recliner? I replied, yes. First come, first served. The person wrote back, I'm on my way. No need to wait outside. That line stuck with me for a moment. A little too specific. I hadn't said anything about meeting them out there, but I shrugged it off. People say weird things. Maybe they were just trying to be polite. I set the recliner out on the front porch, a bit awkwardly, since the legs didn't sit flat anymore. Then I went inside, locked the door out of habit, and sat down in the living room to watch an old recording of the X-Files. I wasn't thinking about the recliner anymore. I wasn't even thinking about the stranger. But about 20 minutes later, there was a soft knock on the door. Not the kind of knock that says, I want your attention. It was the kind that says, I'm already here. I turned off the TV. Silence fell hard. I hesitated before standing. I wasn't expecting them to knock. The recliner was right there on the porch. I figured they'd take it and go. Another knock. A little firmer. I got up, walked slowly to the door, and checked the peephole. But I saw no one. I opened it halfway and looked around. The recliner was gone. Hello? I called out. Nothing. I stepped out onto the porch. The evening had cooled down more than I expected. There was no car in the driveway. No one walking off down the street. No sound but the wind working its way through the trees behind the house. Weird. But whatever. Maybe they were fast. Maybe they parked around the corner. I went back inside and locked the door again. That night, I had a dream. One of those dreams where you wake up gasping, and the room feels wrong for a moment, like you've brought something back with you. In the dream, someone was sitting in that red recliner, in my living room. But I couldn't see their face, just the outline of a person, thin and still, like they were watching something I couldn't see. They didn't move, not even to blink. I woke up at 2:48 a.m., sweating, heart racing. I stared at the empty corner of the living room where the recliner used to sit, the indent on the carpet still visible. I told myself it was just my mind filling the empty space with something familiar. But in the morning, I found footprints. Dirt prints, bare feet. In the hallway between the front door and the kitchen. I don't wear shoes in the house, but these weren't mine. Too narrow. Too long. They tracked only a short distance and then stopped, as if the person who made them had walked in, then vanished. I checked the locks. Still locked. Windows too. I even called the sheriff's department. Told them I might have had a trespasser. They came out, looked around, found nothing. Said maybe it was a prank. Kids sometimes mess around with those online ads, the deputy said. But he didn't sound sure. I didn't sleep that night. Every creak of the house sounded like footsteps. Every shadow looked like someone standing just out of reach. Then the text started. Thanks for the chair. It fits me perfectly, I replied. Who is this? No answer. The next day. It used to be yours, but it knows me now. I didn't respond. I blocked. The number didn't help. They texted again the next night, same number, despite the block. You shouldn't have given it away. I took a walk outside to calm down, tried to remind myself how the internet worked. Spoofed numbers, prank apps. Hell, maybe someone from the department was screwing with me. But when I came back, I saw something through the window. The recliner was back, sitting in the corner of my living room, same worn leather, same busted leg. I stood there for a long time just looking through the glass, too afraid to open the door. My skin was buzzing with fear. The house had been locked when I left. I knew that. I always locked it. But I walked inside anyway, slowly, cautiously. Like stepping into a grave. The recliner was warm, like someone had just gotten up. I called the sheriff again. Different deputy this time. He looked confused, maybe skeptical, but he didn't laugh. "Someone you know playing a trick?" he asked. I shook my head. He checked the house. Found no signs of forced entry, no fingerprints. Just the same long bare footprints near the recliner. They didn't match mine. And they didn't lead in or out. They just started. The next few days. Blurred. I couldn't sleep. The recliner never moved again, but I felt its presence. Like it was watching me. Like something was in it, not on it, not under it, in it. Every night I dreamed of the same figure, sitting perfectly still, face obscured, but closer now. Each night, a little more detail. A pale hand. A smirk. Teeth that didn't fit right. Then, 4 days after it returned, I woke up in the chair. I don't remember walking to it. I don't remember sitting down. But when I opened my eyes, I was there. Arms limp at my sides, head tilted. My phone was in my lap, screen lit up, a new message. "You're mine now." I threw the chair out that morning, hauled it to the dump myself, watched the workers crush it. I stayed and watched until it was gone. And for the first time in days, I slept. Nah. Should have been the end of it. It wasn't. A week later, I got a package. No return address. Inside was a photo. Me, asleep in the chair. Taken from the corner of the room. And written on the back in faded ink, "You can throw it away. But you can't throw me away." That night, the chair returned again. I left town the next morning. Packed what I could and drove south until I couldn't feel Texas behind me anymore. But the dreams followed. And last week, in a motel just outside of El Paso, I woke up in the chair again.